Welcome to this SVPod. We are here on location, Quail Hollow.
Yes.
Charlotte. Wet fronts have come through.
Multiple.
And humid fronts.
Yeah. Got a little sticky after lunch.
It's fine. It's fine. We're on the ground here. Big week. A lot going on. I started to tease the triumphant return of Gordo. I don't know if it's a triumphant return. It's just a return. Gordo's here. He's got the card. Multiple.
Do you think he knows what he's about to get into with you?
I feel like he has.
You throwing a couple nibbles out there?
I feel like he has some understanding that this is about to be a hostile situation. Not at all. Not at all.
No.
Just it's
good fun.
We love it. We love having Gordo with us. We love these weeks. We love being here on the ground Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Get out there, dive in, walk the course. There was none of that on Monday.
No, well, we got out on the range, talked to a bunch of the guys, caddies, golfers. I thought you made a great point about might be a little different because there is so much familiarity with guys that have played here because there's been events here. But, man, we got a major, man.
Love it.
Like that's why we're here. There's a few things that are better to me than being at a golf major. And pumped to be here. I don't care what the weather is.
Well, that's convenient because the weather's garbage at the moment. But it's supposed to get better. We probably can get out there and take a wander Tuesday.
Oh, we're walking 36 tomorrow.
I feel like the sun's peeking out right now. Could be an afternoon stroll in your future, big boy.
Hey now.
We'll talk, obviously, PGA Championship, the 107th, all the coverage on ESPN, CBS throughout the week. But we've been hip deep in the playoffs, and that's where we find ourselves at the moment, where it feels like things are starting to come into a little bit of clarity. It's been a very bumpy start in the NBA playoffs for the home teams. Cleveland dropped a couple at home. Boston dropped a couple at home. And with Boston getting Game 3 on Saturday, which is among the more predictable things, at least you knew it. You had damn near the score of what the first quarter would be. They win tonight, and it feels like they're gonna win this thing quick and in a hurry.
Yeah, but they have to go out and do it again.
Agreed.
I thought they were very disciplined in their approach. They also made 5 of their first 6 3-pointers, which helped. New York couldn't buy one. Balls going in and out. But no, I get everybody's going to focus on the outcome. They have been up by 20 in every single game.
Correct. They've been a lot better than New York in all 3 games, and they managed to lose 2. All credit to New York. Mikal Bridges, great defense late. Boston didn't even get shots, etc. But on balance, 48 minutes times 3, Boston's been the better team for most of all of them. And yet they still trail 2-1. Reminds me of like that Avalanche series against the Stars in Game 1. Didn't we have Sagan on after he had the game winner in Game 3? And I was like, you guys have been ahead for 1 minute. 1 minute in this series.
They were up 2-1.
And they were up 2-1 in that series. And what do? They ended up winning in 7, and they got a chance now up 2-1 on Winnipeg to make it to the conference finals. My point is just when you steal, if that's how you want to frame it, you steal them, you still got them.
Oh.
You don't have to give them back.
No.
So you make a great point. Boston has, look, this Game 4, you still have to do it.
Yep.
If you do, then the world feels entirely different. But they still have to.
Yeah. You look at these series, they take forever. The Warriors and the Wolves are going to have 4 days off between Game 4 and 5. They play Game 4 tonight.
We're talking on a Monday, by the way.
Yeah,
for
Monday
those listening
afternoon.
later in the week.
But I can't get over us watching last night where that was the first. I don't really try and overreact the first, couple games. But Cleveland being down 3-1 and the way they lost last night.
It was 80-39.
Yeah.
80-39. They were the 1 seed, and when Cleveland got back, Mobley and Garland and Hunter for Game 3, and they win, and they largely controlled from the start, it felt like, oh, well, they're good. Like, we're good.
Yep.
All-star point guard back. Good. Defensive player of the year back. We're good. 80-39. They're getting their ass kicked. And now, I saw a game time decision for Donovan Mitchell because of his ankle situation. This is an Indiana team that played in the next round last year.
Yeah.
Gets conveniently forgotten, glossed over. Again, and I've said it hand up. I've done a terrible job of even acknowledging that this Pacer team was this kind of a threat before they're now sitting here up 3-1 in the semis.
Yeah. it's like Cleveland's backed into a closet.
Yeah.
How are you going to get out? You know, you're out of all your excuses, your extra chances.
It's dark in there.
But I will say, if they could claw out a Game 5, and then they got to go to Indiana, and we've seen teams,
100%.
You know, like it's a long road, but you're going back home. And I obviously think of the fans of Cleveland that have been tortured most of their lives, and you have the 1 seed this year, and everything's cooking the right direction. And then you don't have 3 starters going into a series.
Yeah, but then they did. They did
Yeah.
for games 3 and 4, and you have a chance to just everything's good. But I mean, to be fair to them, they didn't. Like, game 2 at home, where they were without those guys, that put them in a spot where where Boston now finds itself. They were down 2, and they got to get these 2 on the road. And I mean, we're literally eating dinner, which, by the way, had very little chance.
Oh Lord.
You ever seen 13 feet of just starving, bald-headed guy get a filet put in front of him? Not a pretty sight. But we're watching that game, and it's just that building is nasty, and that team is I don't know what happened Game 3. Halliburton he scored 4 points.
Yeah.
He didn't talk to the media. I don't know what that was about, but they put Cleveland in a real bad spot. I mean, what is it, like 95% of the team's down 3-1? Cleveland has the history, and they can go, hey, we did it.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't we, it was them.
There wasn't one person on the team.
Yeah, but they wore the jerseys, so you get to say, hey, we did it. Like, did you?
Did you?
Not really. So you think that's a wrap? I don't, because I don't. I think Cleveland goes home and wins Game 5, and then all the pressure in the world is on Indiana Game 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We are in a tough spot doing this on Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
With every single series of the Stanley Cup and the NBA being in flux. I don't feel great about anyone.
Did you say in flux?
Flux.
I missed the L.
Sorry.
That's fine. I got the gist, but it is, well,
You know, it's just
but that's fine, because this is where you could go hot take Steve, and you could tell me people are like, this is a wrap or something's over.
No, I don't like varying teams when there's still games to be played. We're here for the games.
I felt like the Nuggets needed to somehow nurse that one to the finish line game 4.
Yeah, I mean,
And they couldn't get it done.
I thought Denver still had a chance the whole time. I mean, everybody's, you scored 8 points. Yeah, but they only gave up 17-8. That's like my kid's halftime score, you know? But you're only down 9 in an NBA game.
It was atrocious shooting, but look, the game became, high-level playoff basketball late, and my point is that now it's a very short race. You got to win 2 out of 3 in a building where you did win one game, but how'd you win it? It was just outright thievery late, and the other one you got debacled by 40-something points. So now you have to win 2 of those 3 games, which means you have to win a game in that place.
And I loved how OKC did it in Game 4 with what they are made of. Their bench guys. Wiggins was awesome. Wallace was awesome.
I don't know why he doesn't play more when it matters more. It just seems like the rotation is pretty well set.
Yeah, I think they have their guys, but
That's fine.
I mean, you get your minutes early in the game. What are you going to make the most of them with? And they obviously made some shots, and Dagnall had confidence in those guys. So it was. I really want OKC not to get tripped up. I want them to go for what they've done, the time that they've put in this season.
To get to a championship round in the Western Conference.
Or NBA Finals.
Well, I mean, you can't get to one without doing the other, and they didn't do that last year.
And it's another, when we had Legler in the other night, I thought it was interesting about, you blow through an NBA season, which we've picked apart plenty of times of maybe not teams being invested the right nights. And
it's like the difference. It's like the difference between a garden variety tour event and a major championship. It feels entirely different.
Yeah.
The pressure, the intensity, the fact that all the players are playing, all the players you want to be playing are playing, like in a week like this at Charlotte. You only see it 4 times a year in major championship golf. There's other elevated events.
Major.
For sure. Well, obviously Hartford.
Right.
Shout out to Boom, by the way. How about that, huh? All-time GOAT, Chris Berman. Look. 2001, we're at a golf event. We're at Southern Hills in Tulsa. Boom says to me, I've said it, I'm saying it again. Scotty, look, I'm on the back 9 here.
2001.
25 years ago, Boom's like, Scotty, we'll be right back. I said, Boom, What's 17? Like a 9,000-yard hole? And by the way, I sent him a text. I said, the only people that are listening, and we have some golf folks that listen to the pod. You get a text from Boom a couple times a year. Major championship week, Boom text, you're in it. I texted Boom, you're in it until 2029. So salute to Boom, the GOAT, like the gold standard of all
Just
time
had
at
his
our
birthday
place.
the other day.
An unencroachable place at our place. Like you could talk Rushmore, who's on it? There's plenty of people that you could say. Boom's on it, and no one could ever mess with that dude's spot. Why did I bring up Berman? What did it have to do with? Oh, fifth major.
Yeah.
Hartford, obviously. Lost my train of thought. Forgive me. But that's what playoff basketball to regular season basketball feels like when it comes to like a tour event. Still a big deal, but doesn't feel remotely like what it feels like on a week like this. So I think people get real quick to say, if you haven't, you can't. In other words, the people that haven't gotten over past a certain round, oh, well, like you want to bury like 24 or 25-year-old guys? No, let it bake. I felt like Denver, if they wanted to win that series, needed to make it 3-1 on Sunday, and they didn't.
Agree.
Minnesota feels to be in charge as well with Steph in the situation that he's in. They're not winning that series without him. Like they can ugly it up, they can play defense. They're as good on that end as anyone in the league. I understand that and appreciate that. At some point, you're going to need the ball to go in the bucket, and you're going to need Steph probably to be able to do that.
I just can't get over how Golden State doesn't have another point guard. Like you talk about overshadowing what your team's flaws are and everything,
Right.
but like you turn on the game too, and they try and go with Spencer. And I love the story, but he's not an NBA point guard in a playoff game.
He does have a mustache and wears number 61, which is not a typical sort of what you'd picture for that.
No, but like that.
And is a lax guy.
I can't believe they don't have a backup point guard to bring the ball up. Like it's pretty glaring. So I thought Minnesota showed a lot the other night because, Draymond gets going, Hield got going, they made threes. Warriors played into the hands with a little flop fest going on, and Minnesota stuck to it and got a hard nosed win.
Professional win. When it was clutch time, there's like the ways to measure like clutch scoring, whatever else. Like the threes that Ant hit when it was a chance where the game felt like it was because it was seesawing back and forth, and that felt like, can you win a series in Game 3? No, but that felt like the kind of win that, number one, it erases the Game 1 loss at home. You're back in control. The longer that you can kick it down the road, though, if you're Golden State, like that's why the Game 4 becomes like, obviously you have to have it for a lot of different reasons. Not the least of which is every day you push it further for a Game 6, potentially a Game 7. Maybe you have the availability of Steph, but in what role, what capacity would he be in when he came back, if he even was able to come back?
Yeah, and we got Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, for 40 minutes. He didn't score the last 8 minutes of the game. That's, Father Time, still undefeated. Is it kicking in? When you're asked to play 48 minutes, because you got to have it and you're down your best player, Kerr sounds like he's going to still roll with it, where he's not going to come off the court. So
I don't understand how Kuminga can look like he looks and he somehow was deemed unplayable for such a period of time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a perfect player, but he can get you buckets.
He can't play 8, 10, 12 minutes a game?
So I apparently not. And then it was like
Kerr on the horn.
Well, they reached the point in the game in the series against Houston where they said all hands on deck, and then now Steph's injury means Kuminga's out there for big minutes in game 4, 3, whatever the hell it was.
I-5 is on the floor.
Well, Kuminga's worthy of some minutes by necessity. The biggest news of Monday, though, as big as these playoff games are, and they're big, we got some ping pong balls coming.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've watched, like last year's lottery, all due respect. Like, whatever. I mean, that draft, my God.
Risachet.
Not great. Not great.
Not terrible.
Kind of terrible.
No. He'll be all right.
Okay. there are far more impact.
If you're comparing it to this year,
that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm saying tonight, it's the first time I can ever remember watching a lottery where I'm thinking to myself, here we go, Wiz.
Come on. I
gotta have it.
Gotta.
They're not getting it.
No.
No. I don't love / can't stand, way more can't stand. I can't stand the fans that speak it into existence negatively, that wander around with the cloud over their heads. Why can't we have nice things? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You look for the boogeyman around every corner. How many times have you heard me say it? You're going to find him, whether it's the boogeyman or not. And I'm sitting here right now on this rainy day in Charlotte, and I'm like, the Wiz aren't going to get this.
They're going to get it.
They're going to get flagged.
They're going to get flagged.
You heard it here first. Breaking news. By the way, this isn't coming out until Tuesday.
Yeah.
So by then, you'll either be right or wrong. But
it's amazing. I've said, I think everyone that's asked me about it, being how vested I am now in the Wizards with moving to D.C. and watching them.
Are you invested in the Wizards?
Very invested. David Aldridge, who is as
news to me,
Washingtonian as there is, would you say?
Yeah.
For DA, wrote an unbelievable article on The Athletic about the hurt, and he explained why this is the big night in Washington basketball history, because of how they have never gotten things to go their way. So
nope.
It's I think it's super exciting living there now, knowing how much basketball means to me, means to that area. I mean, to be able to put the Wizards on every night and still see that amount of people going to see them,
it's
tells
honestly
you how
incredible.
Much they love.
And now,
if
they're probably
there
they're there to see the other team.
Correct, but I mean, to your point, the Hawks are in town. I don't know how many fans there are of them, but there's plenty of those teams.
They're there to see him. Apparently, he's a big draw,
big top draft matchup. So.
I'm looking at.
I'm confident.
I'm not trying to be rude here as I'm scrolling. Like, what else we got that's coming out? I mean, there's some players. There's a lot of guys I like this year.
Yeah,
like a lot of guys.
I know.
But Flag is an entirely different deal.
It's the guy. Got to do it. Got to pull through. Question.
Yeah, I'm listening.
We both ordered 8-ounce steaks last night.
Okay.
Did you cut yours into 4 pieces?
I don't recall the math.
I think you ate it in 4 bites.
Who's to say?
It was gone.
Hey, yours didn't last like a lifetime. You weren't over there nibbling it like a little. You weren't chipmunking it.
Before I took a bite of mine, yours was gone.
That's bullshit.
No, because I had to wait for the salt and pepper. I waited for the salt and pepper.
Right,
and I turned around and it was gone.
Speaking of salt, the third party of our group, who by the way paid for it, thank you, Red. He just said, "Yeah, could you bring the salt? Just unscrew the top." You've never seen a human put this much salt on food, ever. And it doesn't matter. You don't even give a preemptive bite to see if it needs salt. He just presumes, pss, pss, pss. I'm talking shake, shake, shake. Like, shake, shake, shake your salt shaker, D. That was Boomer doing Casey and the Sunshine Band or something. I don't know what the hell that was.
It was gone.
All right, 4. No, it was more than 4. It might have been 5.
4.5.
Ish.
It was delicious, though.
And it was sort of a potato puree that was, I would have gone with a straw if had one been provided. That didn't last long either. How many, if they would have offered a 14-ounce portion, I would have taken.
I could have ate another one, for sure.
Almost did order. Almost went double order. The filet that's on the menu in the NBA might not be reduced to Cooper Flag. It might not just be only Cooper. I'm not saying reduced to, because that makes it sound like it's. I don't need to quantify this. It's flags available via lottery. Word from Shams, and I think we could all kind of connect the dots that this might be coming, that Giannis is open to.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of folks felt this way when we saw the season end for the Bucks. I still can't believe that happened to poor Gary Trent Jr., who was so good in that game. Had the ball go right through his hands out of bounds.
Right through the wickets.
That was awful. It's just a matter of who does Giannis play for next year, and I don't think it will be Milwaukee.
No. Supposedly he's weighing options and weighing Sounds like big market teams and where they're at as far as cap-wise, personnel.
Well, if I'm him, and I mean, you've done it, so you don't need to do it again, but you obviously want to do it again. If I'm him, I mean, New York, LA clearly make a ton of sense just from the New York, LA, what it is. Mm-hmm. I mean, but you can't, in 2025, you don't need to be in New York or LA to be a gigantic star. He's a gigantic star.
And he proved that.
Well, right, but it's Milwaukee. You're not going to be a bigger star in Los Angeles, and yet you are. Mm-hmm. Right? If you're in New York, it's just different. There's a different magnifier that those two cities provide, and ultimately, though, Milwaukee's has to be able to land the most in terms of get back, and it's wild to contemplate a guy who I think at every turn plays the way you want to start a play, has been incredibly thoughtful with the bits about like how you feel when you lose, and then the bits about how disrespectful he felt like the Halliburton's deal with his dad, and he managed to do it in a way where he could have just been like, man, fuck that guy, and you'd have gone, yeah, well, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But he didn't, and he'd have been, in my opinion, entirely entitled to that stance had he taken it, and yet he didn't, which just shows you, as the face of a league, franchise, whatever, you can't do better than that guy. So if, as much as flag is this massive win for whoever gets that ping pong ball, whiz, here we go. Be optimistic, it costs the same. If you're any team that has enough dry powder in terms of cap and or, well, let's start with the resources that are going to be required. If you're a team that can get that guy, then you have to move heaven and earth to do it. He's 30 years old.
Yeah. 30. Plays as hard as anybody in the league. I really thought that came across again if people lost.
Completely unguardable.
Yeah.
Completely. Has a skill set and a size that are unstoppable by anyone. Cannot stop that man from doing what he wishes to do.
No, he's incredible. So the way Milwaukee has put themselves with the roster around him, that's what I'm watching all year. And I mean, everybody
they have no
loved
outs.
The Dame trade. Wade
No outs.
Going back.
No outs.
And it really hurt him. And, Holiday goes to Boston and wins a title there after winning one with Giannis in Milwaukee. And then, I just look at these teams that are absolutely handcuffed. Like Phoenix. What's Phoenix going to do?
Trade Durant.
And Booker?
He seems to be unmovable. And I don't mean he's the guy that seems untouchable, not unmovable. You could move him, people would love him, but I think he's untouchable.
I think you got to remove that. You have to do something. You can't. You're out of moves, and your roster is abysmal.
I understand that. They're stuck worse than Milwaukee's stuck.
Yeah,
and they're paying like $3 billion to ex-coaches. That's an estimate.
Yeah. Houston's the one I've said.
Right.
Forever.
Houston has.
They have the most assets.
Correct. Correct. But then doesn't Giannis have the ability to say yes or no?
Yeah.
Right. So my point is, feels like one coast or the other.
Okay.
So you have gigantic storylines in the playoffs. Then you have a massive ping pong ball bounce Monday. And then you have a much bigger multiple MVP NBA champion that apparently is open to and available in Giannis. So there's monstrous storylines there. Mm-hmm. Can we rock the red on a Monday night?
You get that chopper?
How far are we from Raleigh?
Like 200 miles, right? Over 200?
I didn't look into chopper. I did not look into. I don't want to.
You wouldn't get on a chopper.
Not
to go to a hockey game?
Not for anything. Not to sightsee. Hey, here's a volcano. Look at that. Nope.
What if it was the only way to go see your family?
Well, what, for like the last time in my life or in general?
In general.
How long had I not seen them for?
At the end of this week.
Would I get on a chopper? I'll get on a bus. I'm anti-chopper. I get a little freaked out.
All right.
So
tall guys.
Yeah.
Get a little freaked out.
No chopper to get to Raleigh. We're just going to throw it on. And we're going to eat another four bite steak.
Well, you're going to be locked in the room for the game.
I probably will.
I think I'm going out to watch the game.
Out? Am I not invited?
You don't want to come out.
You know what he's doing right now? He's doing you're not invited
No, I'm not. You
both-
want to come?
Yes.
I'll get the car. All right. We're leaving at 7 o'clock.
The game starts at 7.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
All right.
He 100% doesn't want me to go. He was giving me an out, which really the out is, I really don't want you to be there because maybe I'm going to
This guy is going to talk about this.
What?
You don't want to go.
I
Be
might-
around Gen Pop and watch your Caps in North Carolina? Come
Yeah.
on. I'm
not-
trying to give you the benefit of the doubt here.
Probably
now
not.
it's against me.
Probably not going.
There you
Probably
How
not.
about post game? Meet up for a celebratory beer if Caps win.
And also you got game
Oh yeah.
game 4
Oh yeah.
from Edmonton.
Oh yeah.
How about Draisaitl? Back-to-back game winners, one for his team.
That's not nice.
Well, I'm not being mean. I mean,
Leon.
It was just bad luck. That was incredible. at the end of
Those
that
two
game.
teams, the execution, the speed.
Oh,
I mean, the wherewithal to not be afraid of each other. Like they've had some battles.
Who are you talking about right now?
Watch the Knights and the Oilers.
yeah, it's high level.
So I mean, listen, the Caps have their style. We know plenty has been made of the Hurricane style. We were there for Game 1. Did not go the way we wanted.
Not a lot of pucks on net.
Not a great watch. Yeah. You know. And then you turn that game on after. We get home that night after. It's up and down. It's like a basketball game.
Right. Well, I mean, it's
fantastic.
pretty jarring to watch one and then watch the other follow in the next window because the two are stylistically appear unrelated. I understand. But whatever. Caps played an incredible first period on Saturday.
Got to get one in the net.
They just couldn't get one in the net, and you know. They tried to score the first one on Monday night. We'll see where we are. Canes are they're like minus 275. They're gigantic favorites. Is Toronto in trouble / doomed?
Yes.
It feels that way.
Same thing every year.
I was going to talk to my guy Koepka about his Panthers, but there's a difference on the range. There's You see, we saw Lucas Glover, and Lucas was hitting some drivers, but I just went to say hello, and that turned into a lengthy conversation about NIL and it was because he was working, but he wasn't grinding. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
It's raining. Koepka came off the course, went right to the range, and was working with purpose. So I'm like, do I go down there and play grab ass and talk Panthers? No, this is not the time.
No, wait to make eye contact. If he approaches you,
If they open the door, or if the head goes back down, like the last thing they need is me coming over there being like sports bozo guy. But I was going to say Panthers in 6. I want to see what we thought about that. Because you go to Toronto and get Game 5, you're coming home. It's a sunrise, buddy.
I didn't have the
Rats
guts to
everywhere.
pull the trigger on them down 2-0.
Where's Biz?
That would've
Shook?
been a nice one.
Biz shook? He'll never admit it.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what we feel.
I don't know if he's shakeable.
He's in it though. I'll tell you.
Well, and I love that about the boys from Spittin' Chicklets. Like they've got their affinities, and they let you know, and they know everyone's chirping them if they lose.
There was one caddy from Montreal that is super happy watching the Maple Leafs lose.
Yep.
It's amazing how that works. You got it.
Well, grew up rooting for the Habs, and so anti Toronto. They just no team is carrying around quite as much baggage when it comes to playoff shortcomings than them. And so now it's 2-2.
Lifetimes.
Now it's 2-2. You go home, you better win. I love the stress of that. And look, they were facing the exact same thing when they went to Ottawa for Game 6 in the first series, and they went there and they won. So maybe they slayed the dragon. I don't know.
Capital of Canada, Ottawa.
Our knowledge of Canadian geography, I think, is one of the strengths of this pod.
A listener pointed out to me, too, maybe that's why they're called the Senators. I was like, sorry.
We're not very smart. I don't know if that's something you guys weren't aware
Not
of.
invested
Wow. We're
above
just
the border.
We know where the peg is. They're in trouble.
Yeah.
I love the Stars story just because
They're the favorites now.
to win the whole thing. Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably because they're in charge of a series, a lead against the peg. The Rantanen story is amazing just because he played for a team in Colorado who I think were the favorites at one point. He gets traded to Carolina. They can't sort out the deal there. Maybe the Hurricanes owner's a little stingy with the paper, didn't want to pay him. Rantanen goes to Dallas. He's the leading goal scorer in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
He got traded twice in a year.
Correct. A guy of that caliber.
Yeah.
Like someone the caliber of, like, if the leading scorer in the postseason in the NBA had been traded twice in a season, that you're talking about an all-star and a champion, a Stanley Cup champion, moved twice in a season. I thought Colorado was better than the Stars when the series started. And when it ended, I'm like, I don't know how the Avs lost. Well, guess what? The Stars are closing in on making it to the conference finals.
You could read your writing.
Yeah, I can. I know what it means.
Okay. Because I don't.
You know what? Can you make sense of any of this, Bottom?
No, it's all smudged with water.
Yeah, but even so.
I see Wyndham Clark. What's that? FRL for Gordo?
Gordo's coming here shortly. Just before we bring Gordo on, here on a day of biblical rain as advertised.
Oh, man, thank God we got inside.
When it opened up, I looked at the big man, and I think you might have asked me, what is the food? Or I asked you. But thankfully, we bailed before. It was a true outdoor car wash. This is a big boy golf course, and there's a line through the years about majors. This goes back to many, many years ago. I believe it was Winged Foot in the 70s when the question was asked of the USGA, are you trying to embarrass the best players in the world? And the answer was no, we're trying to identify them. And the thing about a venue that to me says, what kind of joint are you, is who do you identify? Through the years, Quail Hollow, and there's a legendary businessman here, Johnny Harris, who's a very successful gentleman who wanted to make this a big time thing and has.
He's got his foot on the gas when it comes to this place.
Correct.
Holy moly.
And has for a while, but here you are. You get a major championship for the second time. But look through the years at the list of winners. Wyndham Clark, Spieth, Schauffele, Jason Day, Brian Harmon, Lucas Glover, Jim Furyk, Vijay Singh, Tiger, Rory, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. These are also players who did what? Won major championships. So you're talking about winners here who also win major. And I don't care in the case of Glover or Day or Wyndham, a major, one's a whole lot. You win here and you also win a major, that's not coincidental. Now there are a few also winners that are more outliers. Ernst is a winner that's the one real outlier. Homa, Kim, O'Hare. Ricky's won here. He doesn't have a major, came awfully close. Who did he lose to when he didn't win at LA Country Club? It was Wyndham Clark. Ricky's also got a bunch of runners up as well. So the point is, this is a place where on a rainy week where it's only going to play longer, on Sunday, the winner is going to be a name that's well known, almost certainly. You don't have to squint too hard to see that it's going to be somebody that's really, really one of the best on the planet.
So you don't think any of these 20 PGA guys are going to be there Sunday?
The Core Bridge Financial? No, I don't believe that they're going to get that done. I don't believe we're...
Just want to get it out there.
Hey, you want to know what? It's kind of like me at the Emmys. Like, if you're there, you've won.
Except?
No, if you're there, you won. You're here. You're in the building.
That's not how you think.
I changed it up this year, Steve. Next week we're going up there. I changed it up. I'm done making fun of myself. 9 times I've been nominated for that.
You're going up there expecting to win?
No, I'm just going up there. I've reached the red in Shawshank. Rehabilitated? That's just a made-up word. So just stamp your form, Sonny. Stop wasting my time. I'm good. If they ever say it, great. 9 times I've been nominated. You know how many people have been nominated 9 times? I don't know. It ain't many. So everybody can kiss my big ass. 9 times I've been nominated as the best person hosting TV shows. Fuck that. Look at me. Like my guy AT says, be your own biggest cheerleader. I'm good. What's up? Mike Tirico. Go get him, Mike.
Do they feed you?
Nothing. No food of any kind.
How long is it?
Hours. I'm going to walk. I'm going up there. I feel like a winner. I feel like $100
Okay.
and 50 cents. $1 million and 50 cents. 20 million and 50 cents. If I win, I'm going to tell everybody I'm running for president, like Stephen A. I would like to announce that I am running for president. I'm just saying, the 20 PGA Club professionals, they're winners. They're here this week on the list. Is it time to bring in Gordo?
Yeah. As he's getting situated here, I just want to apologize to your wife. I was supposed to get a picture of you sleeping on the plane, but I was sitting in the seat behind you, and I did see the head tilted for a little bit.
I had the wham-whams.
I did not take a picture.
Oh, well, so I had the wham-whams, full-on wham-whams. Woke up. I realized I'd missed the drink service. But she was very kind and came back and checked on me. But I woke up and thought we were probably halfway there. We had not yet taxied. That's a rare fall asleep before the. Sometimes the movement, like that'll be hypnotic to me. That wasn't even it.
I was watching the end of the Truist and had the iPad lower, and then when I looked up, they announced 10-minute delay getting out to the
my God
takeaway.
Gordo has provided the text.
Oh,
it's an entire page. It's an entire page. Gordo's joined the set.
Hi.
What's up?
Welcome. Come on in.
We welcome Gordo back.
What can I do for you?
Well, what can you do? What can you do for America and the world at large, who we're all waiting with bated breath for the Masters? By the way, it's David Gordon, aka Gordo. He's part of our ESPN crew. He's a savant. He's a gentleman of leisure. He's a wonderful, wonderful friend, and he's got a list.
Where do you want to start? Thank you for the very kind
Augusta.
introduction. That's nice. We
General-
can start at Augusta.
Let's just start at the top. General notes. It's your favorite 2-week stretch of the year, and it's not even close. Why is that, Gordo?
Well, as we continue to recover from Russell Henley at Augusta.
Ofer and double hammers at Augusta?
He had one.
Oh, I thought there was two.
No, it was just Russell Henley. He shot 68 on Friday.
What did he shoot Thursday, Gordo?
79.
Yeah.
Made a 6-footer for 79. Almost was
How'd you shoot 79? Made a 6-footer.
for bogey. Actually matched the lowest round in Masters history by a person that missed the cut that same week. So we're almost fully recovered from that, which is nice. This week, not only we're going to recover, but we're going to kick off the summer really well. We feel great about it. I have to say, it's not about me, but I do feel way better today than on Monday of last year's PGA.
Because?
Wow.
Because we're finally at a course that has hosted regular tour events. This is the first time we go to a PGA or a U.S. Open that's a regular stop, where we have a lot of previous information to take a look at since 2021 U.S. Open at Torrey, and first time here since it was here in 2020.
But it's not just this. It's this week, and we hunker down. ESPN Plus started at, what is it, 7
6?
bells?
I think I'm moving it up for you.
Okay. By the way, looking for a show of hands. Actually, there's people out there that are watching, so it's not a zero rating. And then on the back end of that, you take a week off just to wander the earth.
Wander the earth, yeah. A little golf trip with the old man.
Where are you going?
Nice. We're going to Pinehurst this year, so super fired up.
How many
for that.
courses are there?
11 now.
How many are you playing?
4, with maybe a little cradle mixed in.
Okay.
So.
So you're in a great headspace. Favorite 2 weeks of the year.
Unusually good headspace. Might not be a good thing. I don't.
No, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. I see here the card's 95% complete. You have a question mark with Justin Thomas. Why?
I do, because I love him, except for the fact that he finished tied for 36th at the Masters, which is one of the worst finishes of the season. He's playing so good everywhere but majors.
Right.
So it's like he's got one top 10 in the last 11 majors. He wasn't playing that good 2 years ago, but he's been playing so well all year. There was no reason why he shouldn't have contended at the Masters.
But then he won the very next week.
He did.
Doesn't that trump the fact that he didn't?
But is the sample size bigger than the majors? I mean, you have one major to look at.
He had 2 runners-up before the Masters and a win after the Masters. What happened that week? That course is a place where he's had great success when he's playing well. So I don't know. It's just one of those things where maybe a little bit of information overload.
Missed the cut?
I might let you push me in a direction with JT.
JT missed the cut?
Missed the cut, top 10. Sure, both. FRL. I just don't know what to do.
Is he plus money top 20?
No.
No.
It's around, it's close.
Okay.
Plus
I go
110-ish.
plus one.
The finishing stretch here, it's known as the
Green Mile.
There you go, Steve, on the board.
I'm asking
He
myself.
doesn't want to use it. He doesn't want to say it.
Anytime, it's like you go to, of course, the Bear Trap, the Green Mile, and down at in Fort Worth, Colonial, they got the horrible horseshoe. They get these stretches that get names, and then I get worried as an announcer, and you're on for just entirely too long. And if I'm just going to punish myself, if I feel like I say Green Mile like double-digit times, I feel like somebody should be able to come out and actually hit me with a hammer.
Oh.
Double hammer, right on the knee. Just like no more, Van Pelt. I don't think a few is fine, right? That's what they call it. But the stretch itself earns that name because it's hard as hell.
It's the hardest in any major in the last decade.
Whoa.
What makes it that? What makes it so difficult?
Well, 17 is 225 yards of water. 18 is long with water, hard driving hole.
Yeah.
It's long and with water hazards.
16's 529.
That's considered long, I think.
For a 4.
Yeah.
15's 577.
Yeah. That's a 5.
Isn't that longer than a mile? Why is it the Green
Math.
Mile?
How does it work?
How about the Green Miles?
Just it's a singular mile.
Okay.
That's 1 mile.
It's the longest par 71 in PGA Championship history, the whole course. Fourth longest.
They never had a U.S. Open here, though, right?
Longest 71. This is just the second major.
Got it. All right. So let's get to it.
What do you got, Steve?
What do we got?
Double
What do you-
hammer
what do you want
evaluation.
first?
What is this?
Double hammers.
This year.
2 for 5.
2 for 5.
My God.
That's not going to cut it.
Minus 13 units.
People spend they take their tax refund and they put it on there per your recommendation.
Yeah, and we had never been here because it always had one coming into the PGA, and now people don't have that money to double up on the double hammer. So that's a problem.
A big problem.
Hopefully people still have guys that can
You can find
go
units.
with credit.
You can find some units.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So with that in mind, how many double hammers are you going to release today? Before are you?
Dose. We were thinking, again, it's part of the thing with so much course history here with the players. It brings in a lot more options.
Okay, we'll get to them though. Let's go in order of what you provided here.
There were 3 people that checked all 12 boxes. I'm on Rory.
Outrights.
Everybody is.
Outrights.
Rory plus 475, Corey Connors 60-1, Denny McCarthy 175-1. Denny McCarthy actually, I think he's going to be third heading into Sunday. And then
Gets his first.
So a guy that's great around the greens, is he going to have a problem with the distance?
Denny, 6th here last year, 8th here the year before.
Bang.
Okay.
Eat it, Steve.
I'm asking questions.
He's got some length. He's added some length. He's not as short.
All right, so
So on the
Rory.
outrights, we have Rory, Corey Connors, Denny McCarthy. There's a 4th name on the outrights, Gordo. Who is it? Say the name. Say it!
200-1, Cameron Young.
You had the number last night.
He's so mad.
No. I commitment, not to the bit, but commitment to belief. How many times have you had a stake on Cameron Young, who's never won, to actually win? How many times? You gave me the number last night.
On the PGA Tour, 38.
38 times. So at this point,
You can't get off it.
if you put 100 down, you'd be plus for your lifetime. But still, at some point, the math is going to be, I need him to win to break even on what I've invested in my life.
At some point, but we're not that bad yet.
No, and last week, played pretty well.
T7.
Why do you love him
-4.
so much?
That's too long a story.
Oh, okay.
But the belief is it's been unshakable and
Like-
unflappable.
Well, we were talking with Davis Thompson yesterday, and I asked him, I was like, have you ever played with Cam Young? He was like, yeah. First I played with him once. It was at the match play 2 years ago. Shot 27 on the front nine, Cam did. Made 9 threes. Davis was like 5 down, shooting 3 under.
That's your boy.
2 guys I really like.
Okay.
Both on the FRL card. But, I mean, Cam Young, he's got 2 runners-up in majors. Like, he's had it. He just needs to stop firing his caddies.
Well, that's a whole other.
He's on, like, his 4th caddy in the last 6 months.
What
Really?
Wait, what's the
Rinsing.
You can't rinse your.
Can't rinse your caddy.
Cannot be rinsing loopers.
Don't rinse your loopers. That's a really important thing in life.
Cannot be doing rinsing.
Don't rinse the looper.
What do they say in England?
Sack.
Sack. He sacked the looper.
He sacked his caddy. He sacked his full caddy, you know.
They call them loopers, don't they?
I mean,
Or no?
loop, that's fine, but they sack over there. You don't fire someone, you sack them.
Hey.
Let me guess the first round leaders.
Here we go.
How many first round leaders do you have?
6.
6. Let me guess. Lee Hodges.
Close, but no.
Is Smalley in the field?
Smalley's first alternate. He will be on the card if he gets in the field.
Of course he will. Obviously Cam Young.
Yes.
Okay, is Keith Mitchell on your list?
No.
What?
I'm not smart. He leads every fucking week on Thursday.
It's actually insane. It's actually insane. 5 straight top 2s and 3 of them leads. I just don't think he can make it 6 straight. Like, that would be one of the most.
That's all-time stuff there, if you did, right?
Yeah.
Denny McCarthy.
Yes. Nice.
How many have I got so far?
You
4.
got 2 plus potential.
You forgot his other favorite that we saw last night.
Davis?
Yeah.
On.
I mean, it's just.
You won't get the other 3 there.
Okay.
I mean, you got 2 guys,
Keep 'em
proven
coming.
guys. Fleetwood, 50-1.
I like that one a lot.
He is due for one.
I watched a lot of him last week at Truist.
How was the putter, Steve?
He wanted to throw it. Like, I'm telling you, it was like 13 birdie putts he had Thursday. He could not make them. He couldn't make one. But he stayed in the fight, and then he starts rolling it Sunday. What did he, T4?
4th, 5th, yeah.
Right?
T4.
Yeah.
So say your first round leader names because I'm screwing it up. Now,
Here we go. FRLs for the people.
The tweet's coming Wednesday.
Tomorrow, actually, we like to go Tuesday release for majors.
Excuse me.
Wednesday regular stops.
Tuesday release.
majors.
Of the tweet. All right, go ahead.
Fleetwood 50-1.
Love it.
Corey Connors 60-1.
Like it.
Mount Rushmore of active flushers. Corey Connors. Seriously.
Who's the other 3?
Active flushers.
Come on.
Rory,
Scotty.
Corey Connors, Davis Riley.
Davis Riley.
At @dgord_tweets for those that don't already follow this.
Cam
By the
Young,
way,
100.
By the way, you gave Scheffler as an FRL
Yeah.
down there when he won by $1 million, and the get back was actually more than it was.
Did you get
to win the
12-1?
I got 12-1. Some people got 14-1.
Nice.
Which is great.
All right, that
Did you get some positive feedback on that?
No, but that's none needed.
Okay.
But that helps the Henley sting a little bit, and
It
you're
does.
not going to get Scheffler's not going to cash anything in the double digits.
No.
Again.
No. Now, in out. What the hell's in out?
Wait, let me just get you to the end of my FRL card.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we had reached 12.
We got through our 5. Fleetwood, Corey Connors, Cam Young, Davis Thompson, Denny McCarthy. Second most important Johnny at Quail Hollow.
Okay.
It's a guy named Johnny Kiefer.
Oh yeah, old keeper.
Like Kiefer Sullivan.
350-1.
I'll book this bet for you.
No.
There's no limit to what he's
Put
not
100 on
going to
it.
lead the tournament.
Put 100 on it.
You won't.
Have you heard of him?
Yes, I heard you in the trailer say some Canadian guy that's going to lead after the first round.
No, he's a San Antonio kid.
Oh, my bad. I thought you said Canadian.
Baylor.
He dominated on the Canadian tour
There you
last
go.
year. At this point last year,
That matters here.
unranked in the world rankings, 93rd. He's the 93rd ranked player in the world.
Sick and Bears.
He had 4 runners-up on Canada last year and a win. Gets a corn promotion.
Corn.
Just won on corn 2 weeks ago.
Crops.
Oh. Did he ever play against Ober? in college?
We haven't been able to determine if they ever went head-to-head.
350 to 1.
350 to 1. Like, he's a late
FRL.
bloomer. He went to Baylor.
How many units are you putting
Throw
on this
100.
personally?
Quarter unit.
Quarter unit.
Yeah.
All right.
$25.
Yeah.
Quarter unit. I'll book it.
All right.
I don't think
That's
I'm
a free
allowed
bet.
to, of course.
Seriously.
You got to get those because those are
Seriously, John
credit.
Kiefer.
In
We
a
don't know what,
theoretical-
look, all he does is shoot 64. He's not going to shoot 64. He'll probably shoot 67, and it's just a matter of whether that holds up.
He is in the last group.
We don't know, when he is exactly teeing off, but considering he was one of the last guys in the field, he probably is.
He could. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be a part of the featured groups.
Not on Thursday. Friday, we might have to turn some.
Not on Thursday. Wait, hold on. I need a pen. I need a pen. What was it? What was the? What flushers is it?
It's right there. He
Mount
wrote it
Rushmore.
down.
Of
Active flushers.
Corey Connors, right there.
Active flushers. Rinse the loopers. I just want to make sure I'm going to put these on shirts someday. We're going to sell merch. I swear to God.
Yeah, right.
Active flushers. Oh shit! I dropped the pen.
All right.
What's the next thing?
I feel like I should just give you guys the hammers, get out of the way, and enjoy the.
No. What's in out?
What does it look like? I mean, are you in or out on the player?
You're in. All right. The players you're in on for this week.
Bryson.
Yep.
Which is hard to say. First time I'm in on Bryson. You just can't. You
That's
can't
my pick.
ignore what he's done. He's got 3 top 5s here, or here meaning the PGA since 2020, most of any player, and he's got 6 top 5s in all majors since 2020, all at different venues, which I think is a really interesting way to look at it. So I'm going to play him top 10. Morikawa in, Scheffler out, Rory in, Spieth in, everyone else out. Sungjae and Patrick Reed in pending Smalley not getting in the field.
So in on him, but let's go back to out on Scheffler. Why?
Well, if you're on Rory, you can't really be on Scotty.
So that's you've chosen Rory over Scotty.
That was the choice that had to be made. I mean, Scotty, he's never played here. Sure, you can say maybe that'll be a challenge.
Okay.
Like he's never played the Wells here. Played the President's Cup here, went 0-3-1.
Info.
Put
Just
that in
saying.
your chicken nuggets.
How about in on Spieth? Of course, everyone knows Rory, who you're in on, just completed the career Grand Slam, 6th man to do it. Spieth will be here with a chance to join him, and you're in why? Recent form, what we saw in Texas?
We saw a little bit of Texas form. It's more about FOMO. Not being on Rory at the Masters with the history that he completed was rather demoralizing.
So he'll become your PGA version of Cameron Young. You'll just be in on him from now until the end of time.
Likely.
Okay, that's fine. And admitting that is admirable. I see hammers, Steve.
I see double hammers. Go.
I am excited about these two. You want top?
Yeah.
First or second one?
First.
All right. This is just the gift that keeps on giving, I swear. Low Canadian.
How many are there?
5.
All right. And you're getting plus money on Corey Connors?
Plus 170. Corey Connors, low Canadian.
Like it.
We've already kind of talked about him, but this is cash for the last 5 majors, 6 of the last 8.
This strikes me simply as how much money are you comfortable winning?
He has to be Mackenzie Hughes, Taylor Pendrith, Nick Taylor, Adam Hadwin. Mackenzie Hughes just got beat in the playoff, right?
He did. This isn't Myrtle, no offense.
No offense to Myrtle.
Yeah, I mean,
All due respect,
I'm playing Connors outright. I'm playing Connors FRL, but
the Mount Rushmore of active flushers.
the biggest bet of the week is going to be low Canadian, plus 170.
Okay.
double hammer, Corey Connors, low Canadian.
Every
What
box
kind
checked.
of table max can you get on that? I'm just asking you. I mean, seriously. This strikes me as like if you look at the felt, right? You can put as much money as you want in this here on the cards, but then there's like the thing you can bet for the dealer. There's you know what I'm saying? This feels like an exotic there where you're only allowed to put $5 chip on that. Sir, you can't put a $500 chip on that. I just don't know what the table max on low Canadian is, but
Just keep it to 15 units.
15 units?
Yeah.
You can't get $1,500 on first round leader.
On a low Canadian, yeah.
Low Canadian.
What book offers this?
You got to shop around.
Okay. All right, so that's one double hammer.
One double hammer. Next double hammer is?
All right, I mean, this guy has not been mentioned nearly enough as much as he should.
All right.
The most ho-hum tied for 8th at the Masters. It was his 12th straight top 20 in majors. 12 straight top 20 in majors. 5 straight top 10s in majors. Xander Schauffele at minus 105 for a top 20.
X gonna give it to you. You're minus 105, double hammer X. Now, will we be here through the weekend? Yes. Will you stalk him on a knee with the mezzanine and the upper deck?
Like you did at Oak Hill.
If he needs it.
That's the kind of spirit we look. If necessary. Gordo's presence will be summoned.
If necessary. But obviously there was some rust with the rib midsection injury.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at what he's done in his last 4 or 5 events, he's gaining on approach the same way he was at the end of last year. Gaining off the tee twice in the last 3 starts. Like I could see him winning too. I mean, he's
not on the outright.
He's not on the Mount Rushmore of active flushers.
Not on the in list, but still, you did hear that mention.
Finished top 20. I get it.
Double hammer, Corey Connors, low Canadian. Double hammer, Xander Schauffele to finish inside the top 20. I guess this was a double hammer that got reduced to a single hammer?
We had a third, which would have been a first time in the hammer era, which dates back to 21. We did have a third. Mentioned it earlier. Bryson, top 10 finish. I was going over what he's done in the top 5 markets, so you get a little bit more security if you bet him on a top 10 than a top 5. Plus 110. I really like 6 top 5s in majors since 2020, all at different venues. And you just can't ignore what he's done on Live.
There was one. He won the tournament. There was only one tournament after the Masters, right?
Yeah, he won in South Korea. Took a week off. Long flight.
I don't know how they do it.
And he's got some good history here. I mean, it's just reduced to single hammer.
You don't have to justify it. I think 3 would
7.5
be.
units.
Do you know what live versus non-live winner is in this tournament?
I haven't seen that market posted yet.
I think it's going to be a lot more than it was at Augusta.
Yeah? What was it at Augusta?
Non-live was minus 175.
Wow. Okay.
Also, too, we can't let Gordo go. The bet is on the line this week. We are at a major.
Yes, we are.
And the bet is on the line. The bet is
Patrick Cantlay against my 5 guys.
And the 5, I think you've changed through the years, but
no, I don't think he has.
Not as.
I have Patrick Cantlay to win his first major.
Yep.
And you have who to win?
I love that you keep forgetting my 5. There are some forgettable folks in here. First of all, Aaron Wise. So again,
is he playing this weekend?
This was agreed. Is Aaron Wise in the field this week? No.
That's good.
He was in Myrtle, but he didn't win in Myrtle.
Yeah, the Myrtle's not the major.
He will have a good comeback.
Okay.
We got Aaron
TBD
Wise
on the old Wiseman.
in the field. Tom Hoagie.
Hoagie, talked to him today.
He might be on the next 4 out on the active flushers, but I'd have to think about that. Sung Jae.
Emmer.
He's in on him.
Victor Hovland.
That's the one that's going to be hard to avoid.
And again, we made this bet in the fall of 22.
Yep.
Isn't this one of the Davises?
And Scott had not yet been familiar with this man. He was about to enter his rookie season. Davis Thompson. Those are my 5 guys.
So if any of those 5 win, I have to provide you with a set of custom irons.
Yep.
And wedges. And woods.
The whole kit.
Yes, they're going to be stamped with double hammers.
Well, obviously, we'll doctor him up with all of that stuff.
And if Cantlay wins, you have to shave your head?
I do have to shave my head.
And you have him to miss the cut.
Yes, plus 270, I think it is. Yes.
Along with Sam Burns and Hideki, who was seen in the pouring rain putting. Hideki his good is very, very good. I believe he was 7 under on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then he was several over on Sunday.
Yeah.
Not great.
And talking to people here, too, he really likes to test out clubs.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago on a Monday, he had 28 clubs in his bag.
It's fine.
That's a fact.
Get them out. You don't want to have 15 clubs in the bag on Thursday morning.
Yeah, that happened.
Fraudley, just quickly on him.
Yeah, please.
He's made, just to give him some credit,
Cantlay.
11 straight made cuts in majors. So due for a miscut plus 270.
Or due for.
He made a charge Sunday.
And then last thing I had for you two gents was if you happen to be in a low club professional pool, Tyler Collett and Andre Chi, please. I would like. Those are going to be.
What's that low club pro?
How are we handicapping that?
You'd have to find somebody
find
who runs a pool and it does a pool on who will be the low man of the team of 20.
That's not my question. My question is how have you handicapped that to arrive at the point where you're saying names that you believe are low club pro picks?
Tyler Collett just won the PGA Professional Championship by 10 shots.
Oh yeah, I heard about him.
Okay,
I'm on that.
10.
I'm on that.
that's a lot.
Okay.
This guy, Andre Chi, 24-year-old from D3 Methodist University.
Yep.
Spartanburg, we think is where that's located?
No, that's where Wofford is.
Okay. It's in North Carolina, though.
Oh.
D3 champion, Andre Chi, 24 years old.
We got his measurements?
Those are the two, 5'9", I think.
Okay.
They're the Monarchs.
Those are the two best club professionals in my
The
estimation.
Monarchs of Methodist.
In the field.
In my
of the 20.
estimation, of the 20. Tyler
Okay.
Collett, Andre Chi.
Where is Methodist? I'm trying to find out its location. I got you Monarchs, but I don't know what the actual. They got a strong record of success. Numerous individual championships.
Golf?
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Fayetteville.
Bang. I felt like I didn't do a great job with the sheet because there was so much information that I was just bouncing all over the place. Is there anything else that you've got locked away in that closet that you want to pull out and shine a light on from the dark?
I'm excited to be in, the closet of the week is going to be in the announcer booth.
Oh, yeah. We love it.
Again, that's why the favorite 2-week stretch to be a part of the coverage, the amount of coverage that we bring.
You make it better.
The booth is full of legends, and then I'm just there to be there.
we have-
our
I-
squad,
I have
the
to-
squad of announcers here is incredible, and that to be with you guys grinding over so much coverage is really just the best week of the year.
We're missing David Duvall this week, Champions Tour event in D.C. at Congressional next week, and this week down at Greystone, right? Down in
Alabama.
Down in Birmingham.
Yep.
So Double D's there. Hopefully we'll be back with us next year because he obviously, I love his voice. It's unique, it's distinct in the game, and hopefully he'll be back with us. But our crew is always great. You make us better. I do want to set an over-under. We come on the air at 7 bells. Steve, I have an over-under of 10 a.m. Eastern time, first lipper.
Oh, God, 7 a.m. He's got one in for first shot.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a quadruple hammer under.
He'll have one in before he brushes his teeth that morning.
What are you thinking? Well, I don't know. I've seen it.
There will be no mezzanine action Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
Still recovering from Russell Henley at Augusta in that manner.
So what are you going?
Superstition.
Just going with the Zins for that?
Yeah.
Sixes?
Whatever there is around here.
Okay. So I just lost a quadruple hammer.
I got a question.
It depends on when,
not
it depends on
dipping.
the tee times. If Corey Connors is out at 7:07, then there's a different story.
We have Curtis Strange here, we have Andy North here. Have you thrown your picks their way?
I have not.
Okay.
I have
When
not
you
shared
do,
this info.
when you do, who will laugh harder at you?
Andy. Andy.
And he's going to say,
This guy
These
doesn't
guys.
have a chance.
Denny McCarthy, 175-1. Please, Steve, if you could take Denny McCarthy seriously this week, I would appreciate it.
I love Denny.
Dude, hey, look, he's
I live right where he grew up now. I'm dying to talk to him about the area, but I think he's got a spot in Florida now.
Well,
He doesn't have time for us up in the
you're
DMV.
from there, you're from there. Period.
He's also like a local guy, but he went to UVA, so there's that.
The
with
Denny
Maryland
FRL
people.
beat last week was disgusting.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was our boy.
Mitchell.
That was our boy Cashmere did
Yeah.
it to you. We got to find Cashmere because if it's this much rain, I don't know. I said he might have to go terry cloth.
Yeah, Keegan went Cashmere today. I was like, dude, you got no chance with this rain.
Yeah, and then it absolutely, the skies opened up. Anything else you want to share with the people, Gordo?
You got a pick?
That's it. Have a great week.
I have.
No?
Do you?
Yeah.
Steve's got a pick.
Bryce.
Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
I am going to tease the pick, and I mean, at Augusta, and I don't want to.
You know what? It's a good tease for 7 a.m. Thursday morning, ESPN Plus.
There you go. I don't want credit for picking a favorite, but at Augusta, I said about Rory.
You did?
I said it all week long. Every man has a time, and I believe it's his, and it was his time. My pick has to be in by Tuesday that we'll release to the world. I'll have it by then. I was hoping to get some intel on Monday, and we've gotten none.
Had Xander last year.
I did.
You did?
We got that right last year.
You're 2 for the last 5 or whatever it is.
No, we had Scotty last year at the Masters. I pick winners, people. Like let my guy hand out open his toolbox up here and hand out hammers. Just give you the dubs.
JT, we got to figure out what to do.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that.
I got a question for you guys.
Wait. The tweet comes Tuesday, not Wednesday. Tuesday. Yeah, you got it.
I got a question. The kid from Arizona State at Augusta that wore the upside down hat.
Yeah.
Why do golfers hate the upside down hat look?
You mean why do they wear them?
No.
Why
like
did
the
other people
that
hate it?
Yes.
Well, it's a gentleman's game, Steve.
Okay. I'm just.
Rosillo had the upside down Hartford hat on for the pod.
Classic.
Which, for those that know how much he loathed Hartford, it was really a gem.
I would say owned Hartford.
And
dominated Hartford.
Of all the things in the Augusta National Golf Pro Shop, Golf Shop, which is the best shop in the world, I did not see any upside down hats.
Hard to find.
Perhaps that gives you some perspective on how the place feels.
I had a feeling,
they don't exist. They don't exist. So, can't wait to go out with you tonight, Steve. Where are we going? Who's on the group?
Gordo's in, but he's got to.
If the Hornets win the lottery, you got to come out. See how the city celebrates.
Is there a watch party? We got to find the Charlotte Hornets watch party.
I'm all set.
You're not going out with the Caps playing the Canes.
I think
Let's
I might.
be honest.
I think I might.
Yeah?
I don't know. Where are you going?
Probably some wings and beers.
Sounds good to me.
Moosehead.
Is that what it is?
I heard that's the spot.
Okay. I mean, I love to meet although.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. I don't enjoy meeting people. Whoa, Norte's in the building.
He is.
There he is. Look at him, handsome as ever.
Is he giving picks this week?
Of course.
Yeah.
We used to put a chef hat on the guy, and the guy's won the U.S. Open twice, so we just turned it into a circus. He had he was like pre-Gordo. He had the intel, had a system, formula.
Yeah.
Scientist.
Created in a lab, Carabello. All right, no one knows anything, but the people that know are really psyched that we're mentioning all this. That's the end of this podcast. I'll see you out in Charlotte tonight, or not, because this is going to come out Tuesday, which means it's way too late. And I probably won't go out. But we'll see you on Thursday. 7 bells, double hammers. Go get them. Thanks for being with us, everybody.
Tyler Collett, Low Club Pro.